Look at her, Richard. Look at how magnificent she is. The most deadly hunter ever created. The most deadly dinosaur ever created. And I did it because I'm a mad scientist.
You're mad. You are mad. How can you play God by creating a dinosaur? However, did you do this?
Well, I just let her listen to this Pod Bros exclusive.
What's up, everybody? I'm Richard.
And I'm Shawn.
And we are speaking the language of bromance. Shawn, how do you feel about sports?
Oh, I love sports. Did I tell you I just got the new Madden football game? I'm like into gaming again.
Really?
Yeah, I've been playing the shit out of that game.
No shit. I wouldn't. See, I figured you would be, I know you're super into baseball, but I never figured you for a football fan.
So football season is about to kick off, or it's kicked off right now, so it's just started. And every single year for like the last 8 years, I will be like, all right, this is the year I'm going to watch football. I'm going to watch every Sunday because it's one day a week, right?
Yeah.
And sure enough, like week 4 or 5 comes around, and I'm like, oh, what about that football thing that's going on?
Well, you feel like, oh, it's 4 weeks out, so now I've missed the boat. Now I got to wait till next year?
Well, pretty much like that next Sunday. I'll start this Sunday, and then sure enough, something comes up, and I miss it. And by the time I realize it's the playoffs, and I've always watched during the playoffs, though, so I have paid attention then. But so with baseball, so there's 162 games in baseball, right?
See, like I feel that way about baseball. Like, well, no, I don't feel that way about baseball because I've never. I mean, like I'll watch baseball. But I can't watch baseball on television. I have to. I'm cool with seeing a baseball game, but I have to be there to see the game in order for me to care. Otherwise, I really don't.
That's the thing about baseball, though. So, like, I'm a big baseball fan. We know that. So, whenever I watch the White Sox, it's one of those things that it goes all summer. So, if you miss a game, it's like, man, it's no big deal. They'll be on tomorrow.
Yeah.
But with football, if you don't watch on Sunday, you're like, well, I've got to wait 6 days before it comes on again.
Well, yeah, but you get. I mean, okay. You have a Saturday night game.
Well, yeah, now they do Thursday night game.
You have a Thursday night game.
All day Sunday, and then
you
Monday.
Have all day Sunday, and then a Monday. Depending on what time zone you live in, like we're in Central, so we'll have games from I think they start around 11 or 12. So you'll have a batch of afternoon games, and then you'll have a batch of late afternoon games. But it's usually about like 3 or it's usually about 4 apiece.
Yeah, I think you can get an early game, then an afternoon game, and then the Sunday night game. So you can watch football from noon to like 10 or 11.
Yeah, about 10 or 11.
But when it comes to gaming, so in a baseball season, there's 162 games. So if it takes about an hour to play a game, that's 162 hours to play a season of baseball. Whereas football, there's only 16 games in a year, not counting the playoffs, and they're about an hour apiece too. So you can get through a whole season a lot quicker.
That's about an hour. Well, probably about 2. I'd say 2 hours apiece.
I mean, yeah, depending on how you set up your time in the game. I think I play like 10-minute quarters, so it's 40 minutes plus or minus a few things. So roughly about an hour 15, somewhere in there.
So, okay, so you started playing Madden. Have you started like Dynasty mode? And
yeah, I started a franchise mode, so I'm playing that. I'm like on week 12 or 13, so almost done with the first season. And what's cool about like that game is since there's a lot less games to play, you get to do the fun stuff of like drafting and actual franchise stuff. Because when you look at like a baseball game or basketball, like it takes months to finish a season, and by the time you've done that, you're kind of burnt out on it.
Okay, that makes sense. But you totally strayed from the point, okay?
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not fine, but it's okay. But it's really not. Soccer, Shawn. Well, how do you feel about soccer?
I hate soccer. I'm sorry if anybody loves soccer, but it's just not a sport for me.
Okay. But do you identify with the fans of soccer? And by the fans of soccer, I'm talking about those especially rabid fans. Shawn, I'm talking about hooligans.
Hooligans are freaking crazy.
Aren't they? But don't you think it's kind of awesome? Like, you see all these guys like painting faces, and they're like, they run naked through the soccer field, or they beat the shit out of people.
Well, the thing is, like, they're not like you go to like sporting events. I mean, there's some violent sporting events in the States, obviously, but when it comes to like soccer hooligans, like, they fill up balloons with piss and throw them at the players on the field.
Yeah, aren't sports fun? Okay, so Shawn, we kind of got off topic with Madden, and that's fine. And I was using soccer to kind of segue into something else. Shawn, I'm talking about a different kind of hooligan.
Okay.
And these are some crazy motherfuckers. These are along the lines of the soccer hooligans, but I would say worse. Shawn, I'm talking about the hooligans of chariot racing.
Okay, so I know there are some off-track betting sites because I think there's still chariot racing. Is there a strong like chariot following today that I don't know about?
I have no idea. I don't know if they still they probably do chariot racing today, but I'm sure it's like you see it at like the Renaissance Fair.
Well, I think they have. I mean, they have kart races, I think, still, which is kind of like chariot racing.
Like you go and you get your turkey leg, and then you sit and you go to ye old chariot race.
Yeah, and there's the big old lady with her bosom all put together.
Yeah, I love the Ren Fair. Okay, so Shawn, the event I'm going to be talking to you about today are called the Nika riots, and this happened in Constantinople, also known today as Istanbul, and this is in 532 AD, okay?
932 AD?
532.
Oh, okay. So very early on, and we've talked about this before, AD is after Batman, right?
Yes, 532. Well, no, this would be before Batman, because Batman was in the 1930s, so... But I can't do math right now. All right, so I'm gonna give you the background, and then we're gonna go into the riots. So I'm gonna give you the background, so that way you know who the hell is throwing, the piss-filled balloons at who. The ancient. I'm pulling this right off Wikipedia because I saw it was a news story on, not a news story, but like one of those did you know things, and so I had to know more. The ancient Roman and Byzantine empires had well-developed associations known as dems, which supported the different factions or teams under which competitors in certain sporting events competed. That was particularly true of chariot racing. There were initially 4 major factional teams of chariot racing, differentiated by the color of the uniform in which they competed. So it's just like today. It's just like, you go to Giant Stadium and you see guys in red jerseys, you see guys in blue jerseys. Like, it's the same thing.
You pick your favorite team by location or whatever. Yeah, same thing.
Right? So in this instance, they're going off of color.
I like blue better.
That's exactly what it is. Okay. The colors were also worn by their supporters. The factions were the blues, the reds, the greens, and the whites. Although by the Byzantine era, the only teams with any influence were the blues and the greens. So we're already like, fuck, the reds and the whites. Apparently they couldn't get their shit together. They're the, who are they? Trying to think of a really shitty team. What's a team that everybody hates?
Well, I was going to say like the Clippers, but they're good now.
A team that's universally hated.
Hated and not good.
Yeah, because I mean, I would say the Patriots are probably universally hated, but they're good, unfortunately.
Maybe like the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's say them, which I think
they're
supposed to be pretty good now. But yeah, kind of the pee hole of the states.
Right. So that's what happened with the Reds and the Whites. Everybody's like, fuck the Reds and the Whites. So apparently you can't go out in the street wearing a red shirt or a white shirt. Maybe this is where the Star Trek thing came from.
All the red shirts got killed.
The red shirts got killed.
My uncle played for the Reds. Stab, stab, stab. Now your shirt's really red, bitch.
Yeah. Does he play for the Whites or the Reds? I can't tell. There's just blood everywhere.
They're all Reds in my book.
Emperor Justinian I was a supporter of the blues. So already there's favoritism here.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like those hot dog races you see, like on the billboard.
Hot dog races.
You know, when you go to baseball games and stuff, they have like the in between innings, the hot dog race that's like a cartoon.
Uh-huh.
So if the owner of the team, which is essentially the emperor, he's like, I really like ketchup. Ketchup should win every time. Who's gonna win every time when he's in the building?
Ketchup's gonna win every
Yeah.
time. Oh, damn the state. The team associations have become a focus for various social and political issues for which the general Byzantine population lacked other forms of or outlets. They combined aspects of street gangs and political parties taking positions on current issues.
Oh shit! It's already like an underground gambling house.
Kind of, yeah. And not only that, but the factions are not only associating themselves because of their chariot race, like they're using it as like a political platform.
I guarantee you, if I am in office, the Greens will win every time.
Yeah, we love the Greens.
We love green. We love green, especially green M&Ms because they make me horny.
Is that true?
Supposedly the green ones make people horny.
Is that true with you? I don't know. All I know is I eat a handful and I'm good to go. Those aren't M&Ms, Shawn.
Those are Viagra. Oh, damn it.
See, the joke would have worked if you would have said blue instead of green. Because notably theological problems or claimants to the throne. So now the teams are like, well, we think our guy should be emperor. So the Greens are like, our guy should be emperor. And the Blues are like, well, we like our emperor because our emperor likes us.
Holy
and he
shit.
wants blue.
What if this is like a big conspiracy theory? What if sports really do rule our lives?
Oh my God, maybe that's true. Like, what if all of a sudden, Trump comes out in favor of the Patriots?
Yeah, and so they win the Super Bowl. It's like, well, that's our president. Hillary comes out for, I don't know, trying to think of some team on the other side, the Steelers.
Yeah.
And they play in the Super Bowl.
And they lose.
And the Steelers lose, the Trump wins?
Well, wait, that doesn't work because the election's in November and the Super Bowl's in January, February.
That's a good point. So that's why. So we've learned from these mistakes.
Or maybe whoever gets elected is like, I like the Patriots, and then the Patriots win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, 4 years in a row. But see, that hasn't worked for me because Obama's apparently a big White Sox fan, and they haven't won the Super Bowl, or they haven't won the World Series since he's been in office.
That's a good point.
I don't even think they've been in the playoffs since he's been in the office.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, thanks, Obama.
The imperial forces... Oh, wait. Hang on. I skipped this. They frequently tried to affect the policy of the emperors by shouting political demands between the races. So the chariot races are becoming like a debate, like basically like, you ever see Parliament? You ever see like Parliament videos like around the world? They're fucking fascinating. Because you go to like, okay, say like you go turn on C-SPAN right now.
I already have it on right now.
I'm sure you do. So you're watching C-SPAN and you see, the representative, the honorable representative from the state of Florida. And he's, standing up there talking about something and everybody's sitting and listening or whatever. But you watch like a parliamentary procedure, a parliamentary vote at like in a country like, say, France or the UK or places in Asia. And it looks like fucking madness because I don't know what the rules are for Parliament, but apparently you can just like scream shit out at people. Like you can just yell and it seems like loudest voice wins in some cases. So like you'll see some guy up there talking and he's like, and I think we should vote for this amendment. People are like, no! And you hear this rah, 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 rah. It's just like South Park where they're like the rabble, 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 rabble. Like they're fucking yelling at each other, and it's like a political train wreck in my opinion, because I cannot watch this. So that's what these chariot races are becoming. So everybody's sitting down. So here you go, Shawn. So you're gonna go to the chariot race. You got your cooler, you got your little coolie cup. And you're sitting down and you're watching the race and you're like, oh, the emperor's here.
I've got note cards of my political agenda that I want to try and push during in between races.
Well, I mean, like say you're there with your best friend. Okay. Say I'm there. Okay.
No, you said my best friend.
Oh,
Oh,
that hit me right where I lived.
I'm kidding. It's you. You're my only friend.
so so we're sitting at this chariot race, and we're like, "Hey, the emperor's here!" Like, ooh, that's that's a big deal. And then so we watch a race, and the race happens, and say we win, like our team wins the race, so we're all happy. And the emperor's like, "Oh, that was a good race." And then all of a sudden, I stand up, and I'm like, "And I think we should be for abortion." And then you're like, "Wait, what the fuck? What?" No, it's cool. We can do this shit now. Like this is the perfect opportunity and forum to say things like that. Like you're sitting there like, "Richard, I just wanted to drink my beer and get a buzz on. Like, can we not do this?"
I thought we talked about this. You weren't gonna do this to me here. Like I didn't want any attention. You know, last time we did this, we got kicked out. I thought we were gonna get killed. I thought they were gonna be
screw
ahead of
the
us.
immigrants. No, wait, we're both immigrants. We came here. We were in Rome and we came here. No, don't.
You're like, no, I mean new immigrants.
Yeah, not us. Build a wall. Build a wall. What are you talking? Stop it. I just want to watch the race. Fuck.
Two dudes with swords walk up. Were you the guys making the wall comment?
He did.
What? Not me. I'm here to root for green. Well, you know the emperor loves the blue, right? Ah, damn it.
See you on the other side. Looks like we have our halftime entertainment, boys.
You're gonna feed me to the lions, aren't you? Well, we'll give you a fighting chance.
We do need a halftime show.
They open the gate, I walk out, you're like, hey, that's my friend.
Hey!
Oh, $10 on the lions.
Lions.
Oh, hey, it's my buddy Rich waving. Oh, he's betting on the Lions. That son of a bitch.
I would have made that bet. The imperial forces and guards in the city could not keep order without the cooperation of the circus factions, which were in turn backed by the aristocratic families of the city. This included some families who believed they had a more rightful claim to the throne than Justinian. In 531, some members of the Blues and Greens had been arrested for murder in connection with the deaths that occurred during rioting after a recent chariot race.
So, I mean, it really is kind of like the mob and the sporting, like, using that as like an excuse.
Yeah, it's exactly like the soccer hooliganism. Like you would think that we as a modern society have evolved from, in the last 2,500 years. But nope, 2,500 years later, we still riot. We don't usually kill people during the riots, like during a soccer match riot anyway. Like as far as I know, that's not a regular occurrence where riots happen and people die.
I think soccer match stuff, like soccer, I think there's been cases where like the goalie let the winning goal get by him and he ends up getting killed by fans because they get so pissed off about it.
Relatively limited riots were not unknown at chariot races. Similar, this is right out of Wikipedia, similar to the football hooliganism that occasionally erupts after association football matches in modern times. The murderers were to be hanged, and most of them were. But on January 10th, 532, two of them, a blue and a green, escaped and were taking refuge in the sanctuary of a church surrounded by an angry mob.
Oh, what if those two were like Romeo and Juliet? Like Romeo.
Well, I was thinking like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. So they burst through the doors in their hooligan outfits, and they're like, "Sanctuary, sanctuary."
The priest walks up, and they're like, "Oh, you guys are on opposite sides. I see." It's like, yes, and they hold hands, but we're together. If you know what we're saying, like, this is 500 AD, dude. You can't be doing that.
Yeah, we're not comfortable with that. Or we're very comfortable with that. I'm not sure which.
Well, it's either you guys can be together or you can go back to the mob.
Justinian was nervous. He was in the midst of negotiating with the Persians over peace in the East.
It sounds like a team slogan.
Peace in our time. There was an enormous resentment over high taxes and now he faced a potential crisis in the city. Facing this, he declared that a chariot race would be held on January 13th and commuted the sentences to imprisonment. The Blues and Greens responded by demanding that the two be pardoned entirely. So they're saying they should just get off. Like, yeah, they killed people, but I mean, shit happens. Like, you're watching the race. You have one too many gulps of the wine. One thing leads to another.
You stab your friend in the bathroom. I mean, everybody's
you stab
done
your
that.
friend and shit burns to the ground. I mean, thank God no one was injured. On January 13th, 532, a tense and angry populace arrived at the Hippodrome, which, I mean, come on.
Oh, that sounds like a stadium name right there.
The Hippodrome. Isn't that what Krang lives in?
He lives in the Technodrome. Pretty close. The Hypnodrome, Technodrome.
The Hippodrome.
This weekend at the Hippodrome, the blacks, whites, grays, and blues battle in a chariot race to end all chariot races. Come see. I don't even know any good names like back then. Like, you have like a whole promo for that.
You could. But see, the promo is just a guy standing in the street. He's like, this Sunday's pointing at people. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
On January 13th, the Hippodrome was next to the palace complex, and thus Justinian, who was the emperor, could watch from the safety of his box in the palace and preside over the races. So we've been to Wrigley Field, and you know how Wrigley Field, you have the seats, and then you have, that stadium's pretty old. So one thing that they're doing is they're building seating in buildings across the street.
Uh-huh.
So that's kind of what this guy's doing. He's because the palace is right next to the races. So he just like walks out on his balcony and he's just, he's presiding over the races, but he's not mixing with the common rabble.
Yeah, he doesn't have to go through all the security to get into the Hypnodrome, and he just gets to watch it from afar.
Right. And also there's say hypothetically that shit goes awry, then he's still in the safety of his house.
Well, yeah, we've seen Game of Thrones. I mean, when Khaleesi went to see the fights, shit went down and she was caught in the middle of it.
Yeah, she had to have a dragon come in and save her. Spoilers. From the start, the crowd had been hurling insults at Justinian. By the end of the day, at race 22, goddamn, race 22?
Well, I mean, what else are they going to do back then?
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, it's not like it's not like a race took very long. You know what I mean? Like they probably just went around the track once.
Yeah, that's true.
It's probably like NASCAR, where like everybody's sitting there like just waiting for a wreck.
Woo!
We all know that's what you're doing. Like anybody that's watching NASCAR, like you're not watching the cars drive around in a circle. You're waiting for somebody to drive into the stands and run over 8 people.
I don't know, man. Some of those guys are serious about it. Junior tighten up that left lug nut and overturn the yellow compressor passer. You can probably get 2.3 seconds on each lap.
Let's see. By the end of the day at race 22, the partisan chants had changed from blue or green to a unified Nika.
Okay, what's Nika mean?
Apparently, the word Nika means win or conquer.
Isn't that that's the same thing? I mean, when you conquer, you win.
This is something that doesn't happen with soccer hooligans. Like, it's not like Manchester United and the team from Spain. It's not like all of a sudden they just hug it out and they're like, hey, fuck France. And so then they're all like, fuck France, fuck France.
But were they saying that towards the emperor?
I think so.
So it'd be like the Queen showing up to the Manchester United game and everybody there combines together to go against the Queen?
Yeah. Yeah. And the crowds broke out and began to assault the palace.
So they raided the palace.
For the next 5 days, the palace was under siege.
Oh, geez. So this is like the White Sox disco demolition night times like 100.
What is the White Sox disco demolition night?
Oh, Richard. So back in like 79, the
Okay.
White Sox were having a lot of issues with attendance.
Okay.
Hey, have you ever heard of the legendary Bill Veeck?
No.
So he was a guy that owned the Browns. And you remember you've seen the picture of the short person that played one game?
Yeah.
He was the one that basically put on that spectacle.
Okay.
So he's like famously known for putting on these like big events that bring people into the stadium. Like he was a salesman.
All right. Like a modern P.T. Barnum.
Yeah. And he was the guy who came up with like nickel beer night and stuff like that.
Okay.
So he had this idea. It's like, okay, so disco was dying out in like 79, so it was going away. He's like, all right, so what we're gonna do. So it was a double header, I think, or maybe they're gonna do it between innings. Like, all right, so what we're gonna do, you guys come in, you get like a cheaper price ticket if you bring in a disco record. And what we'll do in the middle of the game or in between the two games, I can't remember which, we'll put all the records that you guys bring in, we'll blow them up. It'll be disco demolition, right?
Oh, okay, so they're going to throw all the records in and then blow up the records, and it's like signifying the death of disco.
Exactly. But I get...
that sounds awesome.
So, like, they had, like, a record crowd, and they offered, like, really cheap beer. So everybody's sitting here for, like, hours just getting drunk off their ass. And it's all these, like, not your most elite fan base.
What are you trying to say, Shawn?
It's future NASCAR fans.
Fuck disco! I hate so much. I like that new band. What do you call it? Twisted Sister. We're gonna take it.
Yeah, we ain't gonna take it
anymore. Motley Crue. Motley Crue.
Shot through the heart. That's not Motley Crue. You're to blame.
Oh my God, you're so drunk. Can we just watch this guy? Can we just blow up the records, please? Stop.
You know who else I love? I love those guys.
I love Donna Summer. Wait a minute, isn't that disco? No, wasn't. Yeah, Donna Summer. She's the queen of disco.
Hey, look, there's a ball player on the field.
So what happened?
So like they had the cheap beers, so, like everybody got really, really drunk, and apparently when they blew them up, like the disco like records went all over the place.
Yeah.
And then the crowd decided, like, I think we need to get on the field. And it was basically like this big, like, just drunk fest on the field. I'm pretty sure they had to either cancel the rest of the game or cancel the second game.
I'm sure they did because, okay, so you got this giant, so there's this giant pile of records that they blew up. So I'm guessing, like, vinyl obviously, like, catches on fire. So there's these bits of flaming records lying all over the fucking field.
Yeah, I don't remember there being too much like stuff on fire, but I do believe somebody caught something on fire when they ran onto the field.
And then you have all these drunk guys that are like, they blow it good enough. I'm gonna do more.
Woo! I'm pissing on the field. Woo!
Take your pants off. Woo! Fuck disco. That's awesome.
Girls just wanna have fun. Oh, girl, that's like basically disco. Oh, what's that band that used to wear makeup and then they took makeup off and did a disco album? Kiss? Yeah, I love those guys.
Yeah,
like they basically became disco. Oh,
that's crazy.
Yeah, and there's been like tons of stories like that, but that's what reminds me of all these drunk fans like rushing the field.
I had no idea that happened. That's interesting.
Yeah, it happened in Cleveland too, because Cleveland's very famous for it too, because they did like a nickel beer night, and same thing. Like the crowd just was huge, and it was people who like typically didn't go to games. And they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get shit faced off of a nickel beer," and they'd go up and get like 5 or 6 of these beers, and just go back to their spot and chug them and go get like, because I mean it's 25 cents for 5 beers.
So wait a minute, is that why beer is so fucking expensive when you go to like a concert or a sporting event?
That's probably part of it.
God, you pay like $7 for a fucking beer in a collector's edition fucking mug, which is a plastic cup with a decal on it.
It's probably a little bit of a deterrent. I mean, you're still gonna get people who are gonna spend like $300 to get drunk, but at least if a majority of your crowd's not going to be like, oh shit, that's $12 a beer, I'm just going to have 2.
Right. 5 days the palace was under siege. Which, like, okay, so I get the first day, because the first day, like, everybody's drunk and pissed off and whatever. But, like, by day 2, you would think everybody's just tired, right?
They probably worked in shifts.
Okay, so here's the plan, boys. Right? Okay, no, you gotta listen to me. Listen to me. You got, guys, seriously, go listen to me.
When you sober up, that's when you go take a nappy nap, and then the drunk people will come and try to get to the emperor. And when we get to the emperor, we will touch his hand. So are you singing again? I thought you were supposed to be the leader. Oh,
No.
sorry.
No, not touch his hair. I meant we're gonna do a little bit of heavy petting. Wait, what? No, that's worse. Okay, so here's the plan. We're gonna fight the stone walls, and then you guys that are being buzzkills right now, go home and get drunk. And then when you're drunk, then come back, and then we'll switch. It'll be great. So I just imagine like the morning, like the next morning, everybody's like, "Oh my god, my head is pounding. What did we do last night?"
They're sitting in front of the palace, like with
it's on fire.
We're all gonna die, aren't we?
No.
Yeah, probably.
Did we do that?
Go back to the wife, try and explain to her what happened. So, sweetie, you were at the game a little longer than expecting.
Where were you? You've been gone all night. Were you out on a bender? Yeah. Well, I hope you didn't do anything stupid.
You know what I saw on the news? I saw some people try to siege the palace. You would never do anything like that, sweetie. You just went to the whorehouse, right? Yeah, I went to the whorehouse.
It was everything I hoped it would be. Is that lipstick on your collar? No, that's ash. For the next 5 days, the palace was under siege. The fires that started during the riot resulted in the destruction of much of the city, including the city's foremost church. So the hooligans had these torches and were like, "Yeah, fuck the palace!" And then like a strong wind carries it. It's like, "Oh no! Ow! That wasn't. Oh no, not the church. Oh."
We're all going to Hades now, aren't we?
This is bad. Good thing we don't believe in one God. Yay, polytheism. Some of the senators saw this as an opportunity to overthrow Justinian, who was the emperor, as they were opposed to his new taxes and his lack of support for the nobility. The rioters, now armed and probably controlled by their allies in the Senate. So the rich guys, the rich noblemen, like see these drunken guys, and so they run out in the middle of the street. They're like, wait, and they're like, no, we're gonna fuck that guy in the palace there. And then the rich guy's like, I know, but wouldn't it be better if you had some of these? Is that a sword? Yeah, it's a sword.
Listen, for every palace guard you kill, I'll give you another beer. I'll give you, what's your favorite team? The blue team? I'll give you a blue hat. How about that? Oh, that rhymed. I like it.
You can even keep the souvenir cup. What? So there you go. So you have these hooligans walking through the streets, and then the rich guys are like, pitchforks, get your pitchforks here, torches. All right, guys, we got our pitchforks and torches. We've been sponsored by this lovely gentleman here who I'm sure has no ulterior motive in the matter, and we're going to go burn this building to the ground.
So what happened then? So basically these people are trying to take advantage of the situation, gain some power.
The rioters, now armed, also demanded that Justinian dismiss the prefect John the Cappadocian.
Watch your mouth, sir.
He was responsible. Oh, they dismissed the tax collector. So basically, they're like, yeah, you gotta let our guys at prison because we need them for races, and you should fire your tax guy.
No nude tax. Stupid. No nude tax. There are no nude tax, sir. Oh, well, that's good because I don't think you should tax people who are naked.
No, that's dumb. because it's their natural state.
And I like boobies and a wiener every now and then. Don't judge. It's a beautiful thing.
So they were like, fire the tax collector and fire the man named Tribonian, who was responsible for rewriting the legal code. Then they declared a new emperor. So these hooligans show up and they're all drunk and they're like, okay, so we have a list of demands. Number 1, you gotta say that blue-green teams are best teams in the world. Number 1. Demand 2, we don't like taxes, so Mr. Taxman has to not have a job because we don't like him. Demand number 3, we don't like laws, so guy writes laws, he's got to be fired too. And like, they're just guys in a job. I could, I mean, if I fire him, I could just hire new guys. Well, maybe they'll be a little bit nicer.
That's why you're the emperor and we're the drunk, stupid people, because you outthink us.
No, we're not at that part yet. Okay, demand number 4.5. I think that's where we're at.
Every Tuesday is Racetrack Tuesday. It's already Racetrack Tuesday. We have Racetrack Tuesday and Racetrack Thursday.
Well, we want nickel beers.
It's Racetrack Tuesday should be sponsored by this wine.
Because it's the bestest. Demand number 4, we don't like you, so we're going to have new emperor. And his name is new emperor man. And this is him.
Honestly, current emperor, I've got a doggy that I think could be a better emperor than you. So that's who I'd choose.
Emperor Fido the First.
Yep.
He's going to be amazing.
EF1.
Yeah, he doesn't like taxes.
You know what he does? He sits and stays, and sometimes when he poops in the house, I rub his nose in it, and I say, bad Fido.
Right, that's the only laws that we should have.
Yeah. No indoor plumbing.
So they declared a new emperor. His name was Hypatius, who was a nephew of the former emperor.
So it's like your nephew will take over your place.
No, it's not. No, okay, so Justinian is the emperor now. They're talking about the guy that was the emperor before him.
Oh, I gotcha.
So the new emperor is the nephew of his predecessor. So it's basically like, let's say Hillary Clinton gets elected, then we show up and we want all the we want the IRS disbanded, we want Congress disbanded, and we're gonna make one of President Obama's daughters the new president. So those would be our demands.
That'd be the equivalent of what they were asking for.
Yeah.
Do you think if you're the emperor at that point and you saw like this whole big mess, you'd be like, fuck it, he can have this job. I'm going to take my riches and go retire over to Italy.
Well, excellent point. We're on to later on. Okay. Justinian, in despair, considered fleeing, but his wife, Theodora, is said to have dissuaded him, saying, "Those who have worn the crown should never survive its loss. Never will I see the day when I am not saluted as empress."
Oh, see, that's women.
Fucking women.
Women always get you in trouble, and I imagine that's where this is going to head.
So Justinian is like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, let them have whatever they want. I'm just going to fucking get the fuck out of here. I've got some money. I'll get myself a little farm. I'm going to get myself some chickens.
Babe, it'll be just me and you. You always said you wanted to live by a beach. We'll go live by a beach.
So it's like Green Acres, but then, Jaja over here is like, no, I'm empress, and I'm going to stay empress forever.
Yeah. She's like, and if you lose that crown, it's not going to be because you leave it behind. It's because you're dead. So think about that if you take me to that beach.
There's only one way out of this gig there, Justin.
What do you do at that point? Like, if you were really scared for your life and your woman said that, you just be like, all right, well, I guess you'll stay here then.
Well, yeah, because basically she's like, no, I want to be empress, so you're going to deal with whatever this problem is. And he's like, I think they might kill me. And she's like, they might, but look at my new hat. Like, at that point, I'd be like, you know what, bitch? Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go live with the chickens, and they can string you up, okay? In your new hat.
Or you marry that nephew. I really don't care at this point.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm out.
I've never loved you. I slept with your sister.
I just wanted to like hang out on my balcony and watch the fucking races.
My mother warned me about you. There you go, bringing up your mother again. You and your Epidus syndrome.
I just wanted to hang out on a balcony and watch the fucking races. And you know what? That didn't happen. And now my house is on fire. And these guys want me to fucking get rid of the tax man. And you know what? I'm done.
Babe, do you realize how stressful this job is? I mean, somebody wanted to replace me with a dog. Seriously, a dog. And they said get rid of the tax man. Like, well, how do they think all this stuff gets paid for? It's not even that much taxes. It's like 25%.
Although an escape route across the sea lay open for the emperor, Theodora insisted that she would stay in the city, quoted an ancient saying, "Royalty is a fine burial shroud."
Yeah.
Or perhaps she either said that or she said, "The royal color purple makes a fine winding sheet."
And the emperor said, "I'd rather be alive and having sex than dead and rotting."
Yeah. She's like, "No, royalty is a fine burial shroud." And Justin's like on the boat, like, "Bye, bitch."
Should we rescue her, sir? Now she wants to be buried in her purple-ass robe.
No, royalty is apparently a fine burial shroud. You know what I think's a fine burial shroud? An old man shroud.
Dead surrounded by 10 women.
Oh, so what do you think? Do you think he got on the boat? Did he get on the boat and leave? Did he leave his wife?
I mean, as I'm looking at it, there's two ways you can always look at this. He could have been like the fine husband who's like, "Okay, honey, I will stand strong by your side." Or he could have been like you and me and be like, "Bye, bitch." So I hope he did like us and leave.
As Justinian rallied himself, so nope, that's not what happened. He created a plan that involved Narcissus, a popular eunuch. So he's like what's the dude's name in Game of Thrones? Various. So this is he's talking to Various.
He's like, nobody will kill a dude without a wiener.
Yeah. Everybody likes the dude that doesn't have a dick.
It makes him feel superior.
It does. And it kind of would. I mean, don't you think that makes sense? Like, what would you do if Tiffany's best friend was a guy that didn't have a dick?
I mean, it's still a dude, so I'd probably still be uncomfortable.
Really?
Probably.
Like, there's nothing that's gonna happen. Nothing.
I don't know. You would think if you didn't have a wiener, you'd learn how to do other things pretty well.
Well, that's true, but like, imagine your sex drive has got to be just through the floor at that point.
Maybe. I've heard people that are like paralyzed from the waist down, they still get aroused. They just can't feel anything.
It's so sad. So the superiority just comes out of pity?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
I mean, back then it was probably a big power thing.
As Justinian rallied himself, he created a plan that involved the popular eunuch, as well as the generals Belisarius and Mundus. He carried a bag of gold given to him by Justinian. The slightly built eunuch entered the Hippodrome alone and unarmed against a murderous mob that had already killed hundreds.
Oh, geez.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously a bunch of people have died. Fucking the city's on fire.
They burned down a church.
Like, all these people have fucking died. Like, so and then here comes this guy with a bag of gold. And so the mob's like, "Hey, that guy's got a bag of money." And they're running after him. He's like, wait, I don't have a dick. And they're like, "Okay, let him say his piece." And then he doesn't have a dick. Well, at the very least, listen to what he has to say. Narcissus went directly to the blues section where he approached the important blues and reminded them that Emperor Justinian supported them over the Greens. Oh, see, that's perfect. He's like, what is it that he's like, I got to figure out a way to turn this mob against, to disperse this mob. Divide and conquer.
Yeah, there you go.
Separate the ties that bind. So No Dick shows up with a bag of gold and he beelines it to the blue section. And he's like, hey, the Emperor liked you guys all along. Fuck those greens. And they're like, yeah, he's right. Fuck those greens. He also reminded them that the man they were crowning, so that the emperor that they set like in their list of demands, apparently that emperor was a green.
Oh, okay. So the one that they were trying to bring in was a green, and they were blue.
Yeah. So the eunuch goes to the blue section, and he's like, "Hey, this emperor, he's liked you guys all along, and you know that, right?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's true. He wore blue, so he's our friend." I'm like, that new guy, the guy you nominated, I heard he's a green. And they're like, "What?" And then he distributed the gold. Oh my God, that's fucking genius.
Yeah.
So he shows up, he's like, "Hey, my guy liked you all along. That new guy you're supporting is apparently a green. Here's some money. Bye."
Money talks, man.
The blue leaders spoke quietly with each other, and then they spoke to their followers. Then, in the middle of the new emperor's coronation, the blues stormed out of the Hippodrome. The greens sat stunned.
Like, oh, I thought we were together.
But wait, no, we're friends. No, fuck you. That's a green.
One common enemy. One common no. Oh, damn it. Oh, this is fucked up. Can we still win this?
Okay, so the Greens sat stunned. So after the Blues left, the Imperial troops, led by Belisarius and Mundus, stormed into the Hippodrome, killing the remaining rebels. So, like I said, that's pretty fucking... That's some Game of Thrones shit right there.
That's pretty smart. So he survived. He survived this and won.
He did. All because he listened to his doting wife. No, that's not it.
Oh, I mean, she pushed him into like sticking around, but she's not what he listened to. His dickless friend is what saved him.
Yep. See, he watched Game of Thrones and he's like, the dickless guy knows what's up. About 30,000 rioters were reportedly killed.
Oh, so he went through and killed. So he killed all the blues, right? Or did he kill all the greens?
Apparently, well, I mean, it sounds like he just killed the greens. Like the way this reads is that they're in the middle of crowning this new emperor. Meanwhile, the old emperor's still in the fucking palace. So they're crowning the new emperor. Then the blues are like, "Oh yeah, by the way, fuck you, blues rule, blues rule." And then they all bolt. As soon as they leave, the greens are like, "Hey, wait, where are you going?" And then the military comes in through the back door, and they're like, stab, 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 and everybody's dead.
So this is the equivalent to like, I don't know how much you know about like college football. There was a school that cheated so bad they gave the school like what they called the death penalty, where basically they had no scholarships and it basically killed their program, their football program. So that's what they equivalently did. They killed the green chariot program. So there's never going to be a good green chariot racer ever again.
No. And plus, like, at that point, let's say that, it was all done. Like, would you want to be a green after this?
Oh, no. And how do you feel if you're the chariot driver? Like, you're just
Right?
the guy. Like, they hand these jerseys out randomly.
Yeah, like, they're probably slaves.
Probably.
Right? Like, they just handed me a shirt.
They go and they're like, "Who's the green driver?"
That guy.
It's that guy this week. Oh, okay. Stab.
Anybody else want to be the green driver?
I was the blue driver this week. Oh, God.
30,000 rioters were reportedly killed. Justinian also had Hypatius, the new emperor, or the Green Emperor. They had him executed, and then they exiled the senators who had supported the riot.
Oh, so at least they survived.
So he's cleaning house.
Yeah, well, I mean, you'd have to. You basically want to set a tone. It's like, listen, there's not going to be any more riots over frickin' chariot racing. I was this close to losing my wife and my throne.
I was almost on a boat. I could have gotten on a boat and sailed away and lived with some chickens. But you know what? Wife wanted me to stay here. So now what? Here's what's going to happen. Everybody's going to die.
And if everybody makes a fucking pussy whip joke, they're going to die, all right? I may be a little pussy whip, but it's a mom issue, okay? My mom had some issues growing up with dad. He didn't take her out to eat or whatever. She complained about it a lot. So I like to treat my wife a little bit better than that.
Yeah. You got a problem? You take it up with no dick over here.
I got a dick. Don't call me no dick. That's this guy right here.
Executed, exiled the senators who would support the riot. He then rebuilt Constantinople and the church and was free to establish his rule. He was also free to pursue his ultimate dream of a unified Roman Empire.
So some good came out of this.
Yeah, because after that, I mean, he rebuilt the city. You know, it sounds like it all kind of worked out for Justinian. And you know what? Justinian kind of sounds like a man of the people. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's a supporter of the blues and things like that.
He's a man of the people because after this event, they realized if you don't root for his team, you'll die.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, who you rooting for this weekend? Who you rooting for, Emperor? I don't know. Who are you rooting for? I'm rooting for blue. Oh, me too. Whoo!
Oh,
dodged a bullet.
Thank God. I was this close.
He stabs like, I'm just kidding. I'm rooting for white this weekend. Damn it.
After that, he let's see, he looks like he did a bunch of wars. Looks like he took some territory in Africa, some territory in Italy. Yeah. When did he die? Let's see. Trying to figure out where he died at.
Is he still alive? Is he Bill Belichick? Is that what's going
on? He reigned for 38 years.
Oh, no, that's a pretty good reign.
So his reign started in 527. So then the riots happened in, 4 or 5 years into his rule? So then he went on for another 30 years.
Nice. So he was tested pretty early and he came out strong.
He lived at 82, which considering, 532 or 500 BC, like living to 82, that's fucking crazy.
All right. Well, I guess, we learned a lot and we got some sports in here, this, great sporting time of year. So Richard, do you have any Richard's closing thoughts?
It's all fun and games to root for a sports team. And there's nothing wrong with showing support for your favorite team. But be careful. Beware, I would say beware beware the veracity of your, or the ferocity. Beware the ferocity of your support, and also beware a guy with no penis and a bag full of money.
He has ulterior motives.
Yes, he does.
All right, well, I'll do a little bit of housekeeping. Visit our website. We're at languageofbromance.com. Follow us on Twitter. We're at languageofbro. Email us at eatthebeaver@languageofbromance.com. Like us on Facebook and subscribe and leave a review on Google Play Music, iTunes, and Stitcher.
And don't forget to check us out on the Pod Bros Network.
Where that's actually where you should support that network and wear that logo proud.
Yeah, because if you don't, then there's a chance that I got nothing.
You might be on the other end of a group of people receiving gold from a eunuch.
You don't want to be that kind of green. Don't be that guy.
And if you want to join our team, our LOB Army, go to our Patreon account. It's www.patreon.com/languageofbromance. Tons of different options on there for you to join our group.
Yeah, and we are always supporters of the LOB Army because we rule. And if you support us, there's a chance that a guy with no penis shows up with a bag full of money.
There is always that chance.
Always a possibility.
All right. Was there anything else before I close her out?
No.
All right. Well, that's all the bromance we have for this show. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Richard.
And I say we eat the beaver.
Is it a blue beaver or a green beaver?
It's a brown beaver?
Oh, see? Wrong choice.
I'm on the wrong end.
I don't even know where to take that.
Think about it, brown beaver.